One. What is happening, YouTube? Can you believe it? All three of the Life Gain Avengers of current culture. Me, T Streams, the living legend Larry up there trying to do an interview with Santa Claus. It looks like his ass in the North Pole somewhere. Larry, what is Santa Claus talking about? Tell him that don't nobody want him coming eating up all of mama's cookies this year and to stay out of the bedrooms with those single parents. What is he talking about?
Santa wanted to tell me he wanted me to let everybody know, and you may have seen it on CNN, that Dr. Fauci actually went to the North Pole and vaccinated Santa himself, and then he checked his antibody response, his immunity response. Santa's good to go. He's good to go.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, I thought Santa Claus was immune to this stuff anyway, because how does a man as jolly with a gut like Santa Claus able to get down some of these chimneys without having some kind of special powers?
Well, as we know, COVID affects people who are older first and disproportionately people who are obese. And Santa Claus is an old white motherfucker. So, I mean, he's in that prime demographic. So, that's what it is. He had to get vaccinated.
But did he tell you how he's able to manipulate all that and get down these chimneys?
Now, I didn't ask him all that because I didn't want to ruin the Christmas magic for everybody else. And you know how we are, man. If we get the info, we have to share the info. I can't get it and hold out on my people. So the only way for me not to ruin all the Christmas magic is just not to know.
So I got one more question for you about Santa Claus. Did he let you see Mrs. Claus and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
I did see Rudolph. Now, Mrs. Claus, she was busy up there baking cookies and such, but I did get to see Rudolph, and I actually got to check out a couple of the elves. The elves are man, they can party. Now, mind you, the elves are good because right now, all they're doing is loading gifts up. They're done making them. They're just loading them up. So right now, they just basically been partying. So, and the elves can get down.
Larry, why is Mrs. Claus cooking cookies when Santa's about to be going in everybody's house robbing them of their cookies?
Well, because she's got to give him something to take with him on the first part of the trip. Until he gets to the first houses where he can get down there. And some people make different stuff. And here in the US, we make cookies. Some other places people may make cakes. Other places they may make pies or baklava or whatever else. So he's got to make sure he has a little something that he likes just to kick off the journey.
Okay, I feel you. So, ladies and gentlemen, reporting from the North Pole, damn Larry done went to the North Pole to interview Santa and see how he responded from getting his COVID-19 vaccine. T Streams, can you believe it?
You know who else I saw up here, though? You know who I saw up here?
Oh, Lord.
You will not believe it.
Man,
when I was up here, I did not believe it. But Killmonger was up here chilling with Santa. Santa said, "You've been a good boy, taking over and claiming your rightful place on the throne as you should." And he said, and Santa even threw up the X and said, "Wakanda for life."
Man.
Yeah, go ahead and burn all that.
My king, we cannot do that. It is our tradition.
When I tell you to do something, I mean that shit. Burn it all.
Yeah. I'll let you have it today, Larry, because I thought you were about to say you seen somebody up there with Santa that is prone to locks and keys and now conjugal visit. So since you didn't say Santa was engaging in that kind of behavior, I'm gonna let you have the Killmonger thing. I'm gonna let you have it.
All right.
T Streams, how you feeling today, my brother?
I'm doing good, man. I'm just glad he said Mrs. Claus was baking cookies, because I saw some memes today and she wasn't baking them.
That's why I asked him. T-Stream. That's why I asked him. That's exactly why I asked Larry, what was Mrs. Claus doing? What was she doing?
Maybe she's baking cookies now that everybody's full and tired and relaxed. But earlier when we saw, she was on the pole looking back at it like,
oh no, people were going in on Mrs. Claus.
And they had Sandy in the back, and they had the L's with the little dollars up like this, and
what?
And had Mrs. Claus. She was buried.
Man, I tell you what, man, we getting to the point where we ain't gonna be able to let women near steel, no matter what the steel is. No keys, no locks, no poles, no nothing. But ladies and gentlemen, we're glad to have you guys spend the days before your holiday with us. Shout out to everybody that's in here leaving us great comments. Support Gaming, Cash Money, Bruce, Muchella, who hangs with the fellas, Sharif, Tressa C. Let's go ahead and get on into it as I ignore Larry, and only the way I know how to ignore people. The first story we're going to cover, we're going to do some trailer reviews today. So, fellas, Anthony Mackie. I like this brother. I can't wait to see what they do with him in the Falcon Winter Soldier thing, but he's got a movie coming out with the guy who's the main character from Snowfall, and it's called Outside the Wire. Let's take a look at the trailer, and we'll pick it apart to see if we think it's going to be good or not.
Oh, you know what that is for me right there?
That's a black Terminator.
That is redemption, and now you have to acknowledge I was right.
Yeah.
Because,
ladies and gentlemen,
because y'all kept saying Anthony Mackie couldn't carry a movie, and I said his time was coming, and it looks like it is here.
Hey, look, that looks like what we've all been waiting for, a black Terminator that's gone military. And Anthony Mackie is going to be the head of this movie. I can't wait to see it. I'm going to give it to UT Streams. First impressions of Anthony Mackie Outside the Wire.
Hey, man, I thought that was something that I had saw already, but it wasn't. And, man, look, I'm excited about it. I saw it. It has all the things that a man's man like me like. Explosions, loud noise, guns, more guns, bombs, and, I've been waiting for something like this to actually come out that would showcase, our people and their talent. I saw Extraction; it was pretty good, and it's a lot of movies like that. But we really don't have anything where somebody like us is pulling that lead role, and so I'm happy for the brothers. Yeah. The only thing I really hate is that I cannot see it in 3D
IMAX. I feel you. Larry, talk about Anthony Mackie. You said the brother could pull off a movie by himself. He's about to be a sideboard shifting and twisting, a Terminator in the military. Got him a young grasshopper. Talk about this movie. What you think?
Yeah, man, I like this because this has like franchise written all over it, man. This seems like just one of many movies that he can make with this character. And man, he's going to be paid. This dude's going to be in like 2 franchises, I mean, that's just crazy. But I mean, I'm happy for him. And I'll be honest with you. I'm happy that he's getting his lead role. It looks like it's going to be a real solid movie. So like for anybody out here who was thinking he couldn't carry a movie, it looks like they put him in a really good one that's going to showcase his skills. But I'm super excited to see that young bro from Snowfall in here because I like that dude. That kid can act, man. Yeah. That kid can seriously act. I mean, I'm happy to see him in an action movie like this because it's like these action movies are good sort of breakout roles for people. But I think he's going to be one of those dudes that could be like his generation's Denzel if he gets the right roles because that kid can seriously act.
Yeah. I'm with you on that, man. I'm happy to see these two pair up. That young kid from Snowfall, I think that he definitely has more range than Snowfall. So I'm glad to see him stepping outside of Snowfall to be in something with Anthony Mackie. The only thing I want to say is the action looks good. Anthony Mackie being almost like some super Terminator looks good, but we've got to hope that they have a decent villain or a decent, I don't want to say a decent villain because it's just a decent adversary. Right. So that the movie can have a little bit more weight to it. And I don't see why it wouldn't they gave Chris Hemsworth, they gave his ass in Extraction, somewhat of a decent adversary. It was a good movie. So this looks better. This looks
that
better
Extraction movie with Chris Hemsworth, that was not the best movie, but that movie was so visually interesting and fun to watch because there was so much action. It was so fast paced. The camera angles were all over the place. Yeah, it was just a really fun movie to watch, even if it wasn't the greatest movie plot-wise.
That's what I'm saying, because do you guys recall that rooftop scene when he was jumping and throwing that kid across the rooftop?
Yes.
If they done that in Extraction, can you imagine what Anthony Mackie is going to be doing with his cyborg powers in this movie? So I can't wait. Ladies and gentlemen, day one. Can I say that, fellas? It's day one for all of us.
When does that come out?
March.
March. Okay. It's on Netflix?
Wait a minute. Let me double check that. January. It comes out January. Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah. So we all in on it. Leave us your comments and how you guys feel about that. Anthony Mackie, we're excited for you, my brother. And now
I just say this because I know T Streams was saying the only thing he misses, he wants to go see this in like 3D IMAX. And I feel you on that, but I also have to say I'm loving that all these great movies are coming out on Netflix and streaming, because I don't have to decide which movies I'm going to see and which movies I'm going to wait like how many ever months down the road to see. I can just see them all. They come out and boom, I just get to watch them, and I'm loving that.
Yeah, me too. I'm with you.
And it's sometimes it's just because of the matter of time. Sometimes we just don't have time to go to the movies and sit there, and because you have to take the time out to get there, watch the trailers, watch the movie. I mean, you're talking about 3, sometimes 4 hours just to see a 2-hour movie. When you want to watch a movie, you turn on, start watching it. You need to pause it to go back to do a live stream with Lamont. You pause, you go back and finish watching it after.
Right.
Well, there's something else that's getting ready to come out in March that we've been waiting for. They dropped the trailer. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to America. Shout out to Muchella, who brought this to my attention. Let's see if this trailer got any juice.
He called him hotel room one day.
Only thing he forgot to do is ask him where the blood diamonds at, Larry. That's all he forgot to do. Where the hell the blood diamonds at? Fellas, me and Larry at first, T-Stream, we felt like it was going to be a hard push to even get this movie to be half as funny as the original. But after seeing that very small clip, I feel very optimistic. T-Stream, how you feeling?
Yeah, I feel optimistic too, man. I have a few questions, but I feel optimistic. I got faith in Eddie on this one, and I think that's why it took so long to actually produce this. But man, tell me, where's the kid come from? Where that when the whole thing was like, all right, I'm for it. But then when he said you've got a kid, I'm like, where did that come from? How are they going to play this? Because I started thinking back to the first movie, and I know he was wrapped up into the girl. They tried to play him off for the little sister for a little second, but he was really on the big sister, and they left off to live happily ever after. So, unless he was really sowing his royal oats and it didn't get aired, I'm trying to see how they're going to pull that one out. Outside of that, I'm ready to give it. I'm ready to give it some thumbs up. I'm glad to see Sexual Chocolate back, looking a little plumper. Looking a little plumper. I would assume that the dudes in the barbershop should be old and dead by now, but since they still alive,
But T-Streams, if you think they supposed to be dead, James Earl Jones looked good. He was old as back in the day, and now he looks good up. So I guess they done found the fountain of youth juice over there, and I don't know what part of Wakanda they in, but they done found the fountain of youth juice.
You see that? Can you see that?
Yeah, there he is, Darth Vader.
Yeah. Luke, I am your father. He's old.
Larry,
he's still pushing him. He's still
pushing it, man. So on you, brother Larry, thoughts and opinions.
Man, that scene was so funny right there in the barbershop. That was just great. That was hilarious. And I mean, I saw some stuff in there I was hoping to see. Like we got to see, like T-Strings mentioned, Sexual Chocolate's gonna be back. You know, the way that they opened up when he said we're going back to America, and Arsenio was like, oh hell no. It looks like it's gonna be seriously funny. It does. I'm looking forward to it. Again, there's questions. Where'd the kid come from? I know he was supposed to be going out there to soil his royal oats, so maybe he was out there smashing and we just didn't really see it. But you know, you could do anything with storytelling. So you just make something up. All you need is a line or two to explain something, and the whole movie can follow along with that. So you know.
So in the comments, unknown Raider guy, I know who the hell you are. You're not unknown. I know who you are. He's saying he thinks Wesley Snipes is the villain.
Maybe. You know, that's the other thing I'm really looking forward to is Wesley. This is the second movie I've seen just recently with Wesley and Eddie Murphy in it are together. And it seems like Wesley's having a good time being funny. He no longer has to be the tough guy. He's just having a good time being funny. And I like him. I like him in those roles.
Well, Larry, that's what happens when you finally pay the IRS all that tax money, you get their asses off your back. Life feels good. It feels good to live life.
You can smile again.
Yeah, you can smile, you can breathe. You ain't got to worry about going to your bank account and it be negative something. And you ain't got to worry about them letters at your door. So I guess Wesley got a whole lot to smile about. But on the real tip, it looks good, man. It's a day one for me. Fellas, is that a day one for y'all?
Yes, absolutely.
And that's coming on Amazon Prime too. So that's another easy one to watch.
Exactly.
When is that coming out?
March. That's March.
Oh man, that's a little wait.
Yeah, man. But hey, look, Larry, you got HBO Max. Wonder Woman is coming out this Friday. This Friday.
Man, I have not been hearing the best reviews about that movie.
Have you seen Para Wait's review?
I have not yet. I started to watch it and then I had to go do something else, so I put it on pause and I haven't gone back to it yet.
I'm trying not to watch it, but I'm gonna try to watch the movie because I'm gonna get up here on Friday night, even if y'all can't make it, and I'm gonna review that movie. I'm gonna watch it Friday and just let y'all know what it's all about. But I've read some people claiming that they didn't like the substance of the movie. T-Streams, you heard anything about it?
Well, I've been hearing mixed reviews as well, and I went as far as actually looking at the opening scene, and
oh no, no,
what's that?
You said you looked at the opening scene and your smile went upside down.
Yeah, I'm looking at it like this. I think Wonder Woman is a great character. I think where they jacked up was trying to 1984 it and trying to, but we still don't know the whole story. All I'm doing is seeing the clips, and I read a couple of reviews, and YouTube is a lot of stuff floating on YouTube as well, but everything is sort of mixed, and a lot of people are saying the first one is likely better than this one, but I'm gonna still watch it. I'm gonna still watch it and just see if it come out Friday. I'll be watching it Friday.
Okay. I mean, but we know this. We know this about DC, Lamont. We know that DC knows how to take a great character that everyone loves and then screw up that movie. We know that they know how to take a movie that should be fantastic and crumble it up like trash and throw it against the wall and stomp on it and make it garbage. We know that they are very, very good at doing that. I mean, the first Wonder Woman was fantastic.
Yeah.
But I feel like they should just simply go to the producers of Marvel and say, will you please make our movies from now on? Because we can't do it.
They can't do that, Larry. But Larry, think about it like this, my brother. DC cartoons are blockbusters. I mean, some of them cartoons they put out, they could put in the movie theater. Why are they not coalescing with those creators to put some of what they put in their stories on the big screen? Because if you would take some of those storylines and put it on the big screen, these movies would be good.
Right, and you're absolutely right. And this is what they should do. The people who are making the DC movies, they should go and just stop, and they should give those movies over to the Marvel people. And whoever's making Marvel's animated stuff should just stop and give those over to the DC people, and then the fans would be happy. Because Marvel's animated stuff is stir-fried booty juice. But I mean,
wait,
stuff is great.
You
You
know,
know?
it is not that. Man, I gotta stop you on that, man. It's
Come on, man.
not that bad.
Come on,
It's
man.
not that
Marvel's animated stuff is terrible.
It is not that bad. No, it's not. And I can't even let you disrespect Marvel like that. Thor versus Wolverine, Thor versus Hulk, outstanding.
Nah,
Wonderful.
Black Panther and Cyclops were the only two decent ones on the animated side.
I haven't even seen those, so they must be trash because I haven't even seen those two. And the X-Men animated TV series, that was wonderful.
See, I watched that and I love the X-Men series because I love the X-Men, but it wasn't like they were the best. It wasn't the best series. It wasn't good. It was just I liked the X-Men.
No, man.
I watched every X-Men movie because I like the X-Men, even the bad X-Men, even the terrible movies.
The cartoon X-Men series was an award winner, just like Batman. The animated series was an award winner.
Now the Batman ones were legit. Those were all the Batman ones, the Joker movies. You know, the super. All of them were great, man. All DC's animated stuff is fantastic.
Well, let's hope. Go ahead, T-Streams.
I hadn't really watched any of the animated stuff. I just, but I do know that DC tends to make better TV shows than Marvel, it seems, and Marvel makes better movies. And if they sort of, I don't know if they can, but I'm sure it's people that's out there that can write good stuff. I don't know how they come up with some of these plots and pass them through. When you literally can watch one of the shows and the show is like good enough to actually be on the big screen on some occasions.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, T-Streams. The DC animated stuff is grittier than their actual live action movies. Like the live action movies, they try and keep them super PG-13, super popcorn, and the animated movies are like straight up for adults. They're like, don't think, oh, this is a DC movie about the Joker or Superman, and put your little 9-year-old down in front of the TV to watch it. He's gonna come out of there scarred. I mean, those are not for kids. Those are adult animated movies, and they need to just basically take that same sort of grittiness and apply that to their movies, to their live action movies.
Mm-hmm. I would agree. If they could do that, they'd be hitting them out the park. Here's a subject, fellas. I wasn't going to bring it up, but I am going to bring it up before we get to the power subject. Larry brought this to my attention, and I saw a YouTuber that I follow talk about this same issue, Larry, where the bum-ass politician from North Carolina, my state, who just squeaked out a win over the other guy who got caught texting a bimbo, his ass Mary, and ruined it for us, Tom Tillis. He wrote legislation that is supposedly, now keep in mind, I said supposedly, in the coronavirus bill to fight piracy, not from people watching it, but from the major organizations and businesses that are pushing it. But what he didn't put in here that the YouTuber found out was he also want in the same bill that if you are a YouTuber and you use a trailer like what I just did, he's trying to give YouTube the authority to strike you 3 times. And if you get struck, they can put a felony, they can bring charges against you, felony charges against you, the YouTuber, for just using the trailer.
That's craziness.
Now, first of all, the reason why, the biggest issue that I have with this bull job, why are we putting pork into the coronavirus stimulus bill in the first place? Like, I'm fine if you want to go after that stuff. I'm fine with that. But why is it in this bill? There should be nothing in this bill except for money for the people that need it, money for small business, and money for the states and municipalities that need to fund their states and cities. Because at the end of the day, Larry, the Republicans claim that they didn't want to vote Democrat because of defund the police. Well, you know who's trying to defund the police? Mitch McConnell, by not wanting to give these states and municipalities the money they need, because it's not just Democrat states and cities that need money. Republicans do too. And some of that money goes to the damn police department. So who's really defunding the police? But I said all that to say this bill to quote unquote end piracy is not going to do anything. First of all, President Trump said he's not signing it unless people get $2,000 checks. I'm not going to get on that tangent about what is the root cause of President Trump trying to sow chaos. So I'm going to stick to the issue. T-Streams, is this legislation, if it does get passed, is it going to fix the problem?
Absolutely not, man.
No.
And that was part of the issue when we first talked earlier today. And I told you, man, it's just one of them days. I was actually going through some stuff as I have certain interest in some of this stuff. And it is this whole bill is just garbage to me. You know, that's to me personally. I do think that people should get, you know, there are people out here hurting, and you know, but they took it. I think the lobbyists win on this one. I think just because of the whole COVID pandemic stuff that they that they squoze all this extra stuff in to umbrella it or blanket it and push it through. But the bill as itself is a bunch of garbage. And, I don't see. You saw what I put on Facebook yesterday. I don't see how they can actually get away with it. You know, if you have certain issues that you want to do, create a bill specifically for that. It's plain and simple. There's no way in the world that you should have a bill that's over 5,300 pages or whatever it was that can't nobody realistically read and dissect in the amount of time that's needed to get a clear understanding to push it on further. You know, can't nobody do nothing with that. Can't nobody really even do anything with that. So they just pushing a bunch of bull crap and then going to try to give everybody a few dollars. Trump says, add this and then we'll push it through. And this right here is a mess. Our grandkids is going to be paying for the last one. They kids are going to probably be paying for this one. And it's bullshit, really.
Mm-hmm. So on you, Larry.
Yeah, I mean, the interesting thing about it is it may deter some Americans from dealing with piracy as far as selling content or running services that stream the content. But a lot of these services are not originating in the US anyways. I mean, you go online and you pay for an IPTV service or you download an app, and the stuff it's not running from the US anyways. You know, it's some people that are in Micronesia or you know, the Middle East somewhere, or Russia or Thailand or China or whatever else. You know,
Uzbekistan.
Yeah. I mean, I had some Chinese folks a while back, you know, send me an Android TV box to review. And one of the things about the TV box was it comes with lifetime IPTV. Now, I didn't review the service on you. I didn't review the service that came with it on YouTube. I just reviewed the box. But what are you going to do with some Chinese companies selling that stuff? I mean, what are you going to do? You're just going to say, okay, we're going to file charges against them. So what? They're in China.
Right,
China's not extraditing their citizens of the U.S. to stand trial for or face charges for copyright, you know, violations. I mean, it seems I think it's rather toothless. I think it's gonna hurt Americans more than anybody else. But it sounds to me like the MPAA and some of the Hollywood lobbyists, they went and shoveled some money towards these politicians to get something done. And I mean, the reality of it is, if you make content more available to people at an affordable price, people won't pirate it. That's just what it is. People aren't. I don't hear about anybody pirating music much anymore.
Nope.
Like maybe they do. I don't hear about it because you can now go on Apple Music and Spotify and Amazon, Music, all these other things. You can go for. I saw a thing today saying you can get Spotify if you're a student for $4.99 a month. And you can get Apple Music for $4.99 a month, and that comes with the Apple Plus TV service. Now, why would you risk getting in trouble? Why would you even want to bother with all the hassle of having to search, find, and download music for free when for $5 a month or $60 a year, you can get every song known to man, basically?
Or you could do YouTube Music. YouTube Music gives it to you commercial free. You get the videos, and you can download it as much as you want for $4.99 a month. Simple as that. But the problem here is, Larry, there's just too much money involved with streaming content, with TV shows and networks, that they can't get the price down. I read a report just yesterday about now all the streaming apparatuses, your YouTube TVs, your Hulus, all these things, Larry, they're going in the wrong direction. They're going in the price direction of what cable used to be. And then if you start getting YouTube TV, and then you get Disney Plus, or you get HBO Max, you're beyond what cable costed. And so that's why people are just go get the Cinema HD app or Cyberflix, and they'll get one of these services, and then you don't need to be paying for it until they solve the problem of getting these services cheaper and without commercials. Because one thing that irks my nerves, you pay for cable and then you still see commercials. You pay for a pay-per-view nowadays, and pay-per-views got commercials in them.
Absolutely.
You got to fix those problems, ladies and gentlemen. And until you fix that, piracy is not going anywhere. It's here to stay.
This bill definitely is not going to do that. And I think this. I just shared this with some guys in my circle not too long ago, because everybody's sort of frantic on what they need to do and what they want to do. And I'm like, look here, man. Several years ago, they did the same thing for the bootleg DVD guys. All right, they wanted to stop it. They wanted to come up with a way that was going to halt it. I go to Family Dollar. The DVD man still asks me every time I walk in there, I got them 3 for 15. I got them 3 for 15. It's not going to stop anything. So I think what they put this together, they put that particular portion of the bill together because they were pressured by lobbyists. When I start stuttering, they were by lobbyists to do something. And I think this is that something that they can come up with. But enforcing it, sending task force to hunt service, I honestly don't think it's going to get that far. I think the bill is if they pass it, it'll pass, it'll become law, and it'll probably have the same effect as the portion that they did for the DVD guys 10, 15 years ago. I just don't, I think it's just a waste of time because, man, streaming at this point, we too far in the game. The whole world is streaming something, whether you stream it on Watch TV or whether you streaming to do a video chat, whether you doing this, having business meetings or something. Streaming it has an eternal soul now. It is not going nowhere.
Nope. It's part of the mainstream.
And all that's going to happen is if they really keep trying to push it too far. I mean, for one, you just have people outside the U.S. that are just going to do it. But also you'll just have people that are going to say, okay, well, you can't pay with your credit card unless your credit card actually deals with some sort of cryptocurrency or something. They're just going to do that. Mm-hmm. People are going to use decentralized methods of getting the content out there. It's just, I mean, there's always going to be people that are one step ahead with the technology, and And instead of trying to force people into these ridiculous positions of having to pay these exorbitant prices, what they should do is figure that if we can just get more people to pay lower prices, we will do much better. And that is what the music industry eventually started doing, was they figured we can keep trying to charge people $20 for a CD or $18 for a CD, or we can get out with the whole streaming game and we can lower the prices as such that we will get way more customers in there. And now instead of having somebody paying, $15 or $18 for a whole album, now we get them in there paying $2.99 for one song, or we get them in there and they pay for $5 or $10 or $14 for a whole family a month to stream music, and they're making more money than ever. And
right. And I agree with that.
I mean, the movie and TV industry just needs to get down with the same program. I mean, because people only have so much money. They're not going to, and people are not going to keep on subscribing to HBO Max and Netflix and Amazon Prime and Peacock and Disney Plus and Hulu and whatever else. They're not going to keep subscribing to 5 or 6 different services. They're going to pick one or two, and they're going to bootleg the rest.
Mm-hmm. And I would imagine we have some people, I ain't gonna say no names, that are streaming at this minute somewhere in the world who's probably doing that little mishmash of services, because they're like, man, the hell on that. I'm not paying all that money for all that stuff when it's readily available. And if you really want to solve these issues, it's like Larry and T Strings both are saying, you have got to give the consumer, the greater majority of consumers in this country, a reasonable rate to get the content they want. And at first, when the streaming boom hit around 2014, everybody was jumping on Kodi. Everybody was jumping on some of your free apparatuses that was coming out then, because it really didn't cost you a lot of money. Hulu was like $5. Sling, which is still the cheapest one of all the legit services, was $19.99, and it's still that same price. But everybody else, YouTube TV and Hulu, they're up there like $55. Nobody's trying to pay that. Because
why are you going to YouTube TV and charging? I mean, why are they charging people $50-something, $60-something, and then they turn around and say, oh, well, we have to pay this because of the licensing fees from the networks. Well, why not flex your YouTube, your Google, your Alphabet, flex those muscles and simply say, oh, you're going to cut us a better deal on the licensing fees, or we won't allow any of your content on YouTube, period.
Larry,
we just won't allow it.
Genius. But you know what the problem with that is? The problem with that is Google and YouTube are greedy, because they still want them coins that they get from the people that you just mentioned. But if YouTube really wanted to, they could push the envelope and get things done if they wanted to do that.
Yeah.
So, well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll follow that story. We got one more story before we get to power. Fellas, something happened in the stock market with a stock that I think both of you own. I know Larry owns it. So I'm going to show you this, and I want you guys to tell me who makes this car.
Apple.
Damn, Larry, you cheater.
It's on the car.
Oh, okay.
It's right there. It says Apple.
Okay. I'm about to cuss you out, man. I'll be like, how does this guy know? But ladies and gentlemen, if you follow your stocks and you follow me, you know I'm into this stuff. Apple stock went up $6 yesterday because Apple announced they are getting into the EV race. But not when we say the EV race, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard me say this before about Tesla, which is why me and Larry have been able to help y'all make so much money with Tesla. When you hear a company talking about their EV technology, don't just think of it as a car. Think of the practical uses that they can do with those batteries. At some point in time, people are going to be doing what Tesla's doing with those batteries, powering your whole entire house.
Yeah.
And then using solar to repower that battery. So think of it like that. Having said that, Apple announced that they are getting into the EV market in 2024, and they are touting not just this car, but they're touting that they've got the best battery technology that anyone has seen on the planet, better than anything you've heard of. And they're also touting all the technology and connected technology that they will put in the car. T-Streams, what do you think about Apple, the richest company in the world, now deciding to get into the EV market after they dissed Elon Musk, who went begging to them in the early days of Tesla because it was struggling?
Yeah, and you know that's how the game go. You know, they saw how much success, and then they had to start jumping in. They had, you cannot refute that man's success. Is is undoubtedly visible, and for them to do that, and they come around and try to jump back in the scene. Now, the one thing I will say is that Apple definitely does have the resources. All right. And their Apple's personality is one of trying to be extremely different and having the top of the top or stuff. So I would be interested in seeing what they're actually saying, if they could actually back up that claim. But I'm sure whatever it is they got, because Tesla got some very, very nice battery technology that I was watching the other day, watching Elon talk about on YouTube, and they got some real heat. And matter of fact, the one thing that I saw that he was saying was talking about how they have batteries that could travel you from one end of the country all the way to the other end without having to charge. That's badass. And so, what more can Apple do? I'm sure they got something in plan, but it's going to end up being a rat race. And so there you'll have your Xbox and PlayStation. That's just a metaphor between the two companies going at it as legitimate rivalries, because once they actually put their foot into the game, it's a few years from now, but once they actually put their foot into the game and start marketing some of this stuff, oh my God, I can just see it. All the Apple folks.
Oh yeah. And this guy I'm about to ask the question to next, he's somewhat of an Apple guy. Larry, speak on it. You are a shareholder. You are a holder of their technology.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, Larry, what do you think about Apple getting into the EV market to compete with Tesla?
I can tell you right now, if Apple gets into it's not if, they are getting into it.
Oh yeah.
And here's the thing. I don't think Tesla has to worry quite so much, because it's going to be a couple of years before Apple actually gets a car to market. But who does have to worry is everybody else. Like GM, Ford, Lincoln, VW, everybody. If you make a car, you need to be worried, because I can tell you right now, everybody that's out there right now that loves Apple stuff, if you have a kid that says, I need a new car, and Apple has an option out there where you can buy a car for $30,000, $40,000, I can tell you right now, every kid out there who may have gone and looked at a BMW or a Mini Cooper or a Mercedes or, a Volkswagen Jetta, they're no longer looking at those cars. They're going to go straight to Apple and buy an Apple car. They're going to be like, why not? I have an iPhone. I have an iPad. I have a Mac computer. I have an Apple Pencil. I have Apple everything. All I have to do is basically go in with my phone, and it automatically recognizes my phone because of near field communication. And my phone my whole car is customized to me. And I just have to get in and go.
That's it.
I mean, Apple already has built in this mind. It's not even just about a customer base. They have built in a mindset with people that Apple means luxury. It's premium. And it's not even just that it's luxury and premium. It is luxury and premium in a way that's accessible to everybody.
Preach.
Everybody has iPhones, but people still feel like they have a piece of luxury in their hand, something premium in their hand.
You want to bring her in here for a minute? Yeah, Larry. And then
we have baby L coming through.
It's gonna, we're about to have an L sighting. The baby's walking through. Hey, baby. Hey, baby. They want to see you real quick. Say, hey, everybody. Hey, where you going?
I'm trying not to have her look at me.
We just want to say, hey, and then go. We don't want you to leave us in here by ourselves. Hey, baby.
There we go.
This is probably going to be an Apple girl, even though her dad likes to do some stuff with, I still like Android products too, but I do believe in a MacBook as a computer.
Lamar, have you ever had an iPhone?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I wasn't sure because I know you roll with Android, so I wasn't sure if you've ever had one.
I've had one say, hey, Uncle Larry, hey, Uncle T Strings, you want to do something to that microphone, huh? I see you looking over there at the microphone.
Well, the one thing I can't say about Apple is that they have done a tremendous job with their branding. And, they have created a cult-like following for their products.
Yeah.
Okay, Super Baby, get on out of here, Super Baby. Get on out of here, man. I'll see you in a minute.
Yeah.
So, but we'll keep an eye on that because Larry, I'm scared. If Apple got in the market and changed, they didn't make the cell phone, but they damn sure changed the trajectory of the cell phone.
Right, but that's what Apple does. They don't make it; they make it better. They take whatever someone did and they make it great. Samsung made great phones; they made good phones, and Apple basically said, "That's a nice start. Let me show you how to do it properly."
Mm-hmm. And that car, that prototype car, they basically made that prototype car to get on Elon's nerves because I think y'all have seen the Tesla Roadster, right? Mm-hmm. The Tesla Roadster is supposed to be the fastest car ever made. It's going to get from 0 to 60 in 1.8 seconds, and it's going to have a booster on the back of it like what Batman had in the Batman original series with Adam West.
Oh my goodness.
Apple is saying that car that I just showed you guys, this thing right here, not only will the battery have a range of 1,000 miles, but they're saying this car would get up to 0 to 60 in 1.5 seconds.
It's dope. It looks like a McLaren from the front.
Yeah.
Man.
It looks dope.
Look, in 10 years from now, they're saying that 40% of everything on the highway is going to be EV. So I just tell everybody, keep reading the bottom line of your investments. Follow my channel. As a matter of fact, I'm going to splinter my other channel, the one that's got 4,000 subscribers. That's going to be strictly stocks and finances so that I can help you guys keep up. I'm going to do options with my subscribers. I'm going to have Larry up there. I'm going to bring T-Streams up there. I want everybody's portfolio to get like mine in this coming year. I want to see everybody with $200,000 in their stock portfolios so that when these cars come out, you can stroke a check. One. You can just stroke a check and go buy it straight out. So that's what it is, and we'll keep an eye on that.
Buzz 703 says, I don't own Apple. I don't own an Apple product, Larry. Not everybody has an Apple. There is a clear divide, and here's the thing I think with Apple is that because there are so many people that love Apple, there's so many Apple evangelicals out there, what do you call it? People that are out there just preaching the church of Apple. Some people look at it. They love Apple. They call them Apple fanboys. And so because of that, there are people out there that equally hate Apple just because of that. Like they will try and swear up and down that Apple sucks, their iPhone sucks, that everything sucks, when the fact of the matter is it is simply not true.
No, it's not
Apple
true.
products are absolutely incredible. Now, like any piece of technology, they will get on your nerves every now and then. They will have problems every now and then, but Apple products are straight up legit. Their phones are some of the best phones you could possibly buy. You know, same with their computers and their tablets
are great. And to Larry's point, I read the study, this was 3 years ago, Android versus Apple in terms of the phone, not like computers, just the phone. 72% of the marketplace worldwide owns Android.
Right.
And the other percent was Apple. I want you guys to let that sink in. Apple has less than 1/3% of the cell phone marketplace in the world, but they have the richest company. Think about that. Just think about that. Let that sink in. And we're going to move to power for our last 10 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, it's getting hot on them power streets. People want to know who holding guns, who Effie going to sleep with next. Is Professor Meager going to team back up with Professor Jabari Plagiarism Kelly?
Who shot JR? Oh, the wrong show.
It's all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to lead in with this, Larry. Would Monet, would she on any instance shoot her son, Kane?
Yes, I think she would.
What?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think that
she would shoot these streams.
I second that. Yep.
Damn.
I don't think she would shoot him for anything frivolous, but I think that if it came down to it where she felt like she needed to protect herself or one of her other kids, maybe protect the business outright, I think she would pop him.
Well, she already said that Kane was reckless and too far gone. So if he's too far gone, then he's beyond even her redemption. And because he's a loose cannon, I think if opportunity, I don't think that she would search out and just smoking, but he put his hands on her again, married and took a couple of falls, she she found herself on the floor again, Kane might have one planted, double tap to the chest or something.
She might go down and reach for that piece while she's falling to the floor. So
now this question is for UT Streams. Now that we done seen the breakup, we think of Braden and Tariq. And we've seen Kane kidnap Braden, throw Braden on the street, and Braden showed Kane just how tough he was. Do you think there's a chance we could see Braden and Kane teaming up against Tariq?
No.
What?
No. I don't think so. Tariq still has a trump card to play. And you already know he's good with words, and he's good with manipulating certain situations. He has a trump card, and all he has to do is be like, Braden, man, I was trying to protect you. Your girl, the feds. Her uncle is the feds.
Okay.
And I think once that is exposed, it'll change the whole trajectory. And it may not even be that to change it, but I don't think I can't see that Braden teaming up with Kane and with Kane against Tariq. I don't think so.
Larry, what you think?
No, I don't think he'll team up with Kane because both of them are dumb. Both of them are dumb and hotheads, and it would just be a hot mess. Neither one of them could run a business.
Wait, Larry, that's not saying a lot. He's teaming up with Little Glock.
None of them can run. Neither one of them could run a business.
I mean, to say he won't team up with Kane because they're dumb, that's not saying a lot.
I'm not saying that he wouldn't try, but I don't think the writers would put them together because it's just putting two dummies together. I mean, or it's two hotheads. I don't want to say Braden is dumb. He's just a hothead. And Kane, I don't know. I don't know if Kane is dumb or if he's just can't get out of his own way. It's hard to tell, but I think Braden is just right now. I think he's just a little butthurt in his feelings because of Riley, and I think he'll get over that. But I think really what's going to happen is that he's going to. I think he's really going to want to sell because we know he wants to sell coke. I think Tariq's gonna say, okay, yeah, let's do it, let's get in it, because he's gonna need more money. He's gonna have to start paying two-bit. And he's gonna have to pay for his attorneys and all. I think he's gonna start dealing coke up on campus, and then Braden's gonna be like, "All right, cool, let's do it." You know?
Do you think Tariq will let Braden hook up with this chick right here and be the coke connection on school campus?
Nah, Braden's never getting with Effie.
No, man, not hook up as in sex. I mean, Tariq have Braden running the coke through Effie. Effie's the supplier.
I think what's going to happen is that I don't think that's going to happen. I think what's going to happen is Tariq he's already sort of laid out the game plan what he's going to do with Effie. He got Effie to trust him, and so now he's going to go ahead find out who her connect is, and he's going to bypass her and just go straight to her connect.
That look on her face, God, at least
I know.
I was sitting here thinking to myself, that's how they hug in church. When the pastor be trying to get a little too touchy-feely, that be the look on the girl face in church. Like, man, bro, the Lord looking at us. What the hell you think you're doing? So,
man.
Words.
Man, she was not feeling that at all. And so then that brings me back to this right here. What is Monet gonna do when she finds out that Zeke got Professor Carey pregnant? I said Professor Carey. I didn't say nothing else. I give it to you first, T-Streams.
Man, that would be a bomb. But he's sort of soft. I think she can easily put him in check because he respects her, and she throw that. What are you doing? She put that look on. Yeah, that.
Oh man!
She put that on him. He probably tightened all the way down. What are you doing? You're trying to lose your career. You get caught with this and blah 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 blah. Yeah.
But here's the problem, Larry. As I pose this to you, if he does get Professor Carey pregnant, it's not Monet he's got to worry about. It's this Negro right here. He gonna have to worry about.
You're right. Yeah, I think eventually something's gonna come to head with Jabari and either Zeke or Tariq. I don't think it's gonna be Zeke because I think he's gonna keep going after Tariq, thinking it's Tariq, and by the time he realizes it's Zeke, I think it's gonna be too late. Somebody's already gonna have handled Jabari. But to be honest with you, if he knocks up Professor Lock and Key, I'm okay with that. I think that would be. I think as far as chicks that he could knock up, and the way he was banging out that cheerleader, and the way people were talking about him getting it in, it's probably only a matter of time before he knocked up somebody anyway. So he might as well get it with a real woman.
That's right. She is a real woman, a professor, an educator, and not a sex educator.
I mean, in all seriousness, if you're gonna get with someone, I mean, she's probably in all seriousness, she's probably not that much older than him. She's because he's probably in his mid-20s, like 23, 22, 23. Because what is he supposed to be, a senior? He's about to go to the league.
Yeah, he's probably a senior, so we'll say he's 23. We'll give him 23.
All right, and so she's probably 30.
No, she's probably like 33. But
okay. So she's a little bit. I mean, personally, I mean, I would want someone like her, someone a little bit older, mature, that's in my corner, especially if I'm about to go to the league. Because then you can't pull stuff over. I mean, not that he's gonna be able to get anything pulled over his eyes with someone like Monet in his corner, because Monet might just run up in somebody's office with pistol whipping people and telling
Now,
David
that
Stern
may
he's gonna give him a better deal.
Now that may happen because she didn't start researching who his peoples are, and Monet is ballsy enough to maybe bypass him and go straight to her. Be like, look here, this my nephew. Stay away from him.
Yeah, Monet will do that now because Monet is the ultimate cop blocker on this show. She be trying to cop block and be late every single time. Last question I pose to you fellas before we get out of here on Power. Ultimately, that brother in the background, how is he going to die?
Webster won in the end.
That dude. Come on, man.
What? T-Streams, you first. How is Everett gonna die? We done already seen him run away like a little girl when he saw that Drew really is the man in the relationship. How is he gonna die?
Man, honestly, he can go in any way as far as I'm concerned. He could actually while he running away and fall in front of a bus. But
man.
Oh my God.
So I don't think it'll be Kane.
Okay.
I think his death is going to be one of those at the wrong place at the wrong time type of thing, because it's apparent that Drew still like him, even though his other hand has been exposed. Kane already aware, the mama already aware, everybody around him is aware except his daddy, and his daddy can't do nothing. So if they was to get rid of him,
wait a minute, T-Streams. That daddy is aware because the daddy is it too. But I'll just throw that out there. That daddy is fully aware. Because I mean, in y'all private sessions at home, do y'all ever get caught sitting like that? And I'm gonna just leave it at that. But go ahead, T-Streams.
Nah, bro, I don't sit like that, homeboy. But that's not.
That's probably why. I mean, that's probably why that cop. That's probably why that cop can sleep with Monet and Tejada doesn't really care, because he's like, he's just bad. That's his beard. He didn't really care because that's his beard.
Boy.
I will say this though,
man.
He must pull some heavy weight because he got some Pablo Escobar type stuff going on in his jail cell. Golly.
Man,
yeah, I honestly, I don't think they're killing Drew though. I mean, not Drew. I don't think they're killing. What's Drew's boyfriend's name? That dude,
Everett.
I don't think they're killing Everett, because I think that they still need to give Drew a love interest of some sort. And Drew's, I mean, it works out nicely for Drew because dude is in the closet, and now that Drew looks like he's probably going to end up having to take over the business, I don't think they're going to want everybody in the streets knowing that he's gay. Because what's going to happen is when people say, well, Lil Guap called you an F word, and they're going to be like, well, you saw what happened to Lil Guap. But I can understand why dude would run and be scared on some level. I mean, he did run like a little BI, but I understand why he would be a little scared of Drew now, because if they came after Zeke and dude put a gun to Zeke's knee and was threatening to blow out his whole career like that, dude's up there in the same boat. He's like, I'm trying to go to the league. I don't want somebody come running up on me because of you. Right. I'm trying to go to the league. I don't want that. I don't want to be in that situation, But so I don't think they're killing Everett. They may be. It might be one of those sort of on again, off again things where he's trying to get him back, and that I don't know.
More often.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
yeah, I said more off than on, preferably.
Yeah, I'm not gonna refer to this character as Little Guap no more from now on, because he's such a clown. And who's everybody's favorite clown show? The WWE. From now on, I'm calling him Little Uso, because he looked just like one of them damn Uso brothers from now on, until he showed me something better. But ladies and gentlemen, That's all we got for y'all for tonight. Good show, fellas. If any of these guys decide to show up Christmas night, I will be here. But fellas need time to spend with their families. So if
Are
any
you
of
going
y'all,
on Christmas night?
I'm going on Christmas night.
Woo.
I might even go on. I might even go on and let L tear up a box live right here on this live stream.
Man,
Yeah.
okay.
So
at 9 o'clock here, everything is pretty much over, man. We're folks be done ate earlier on in the day. Kids done tore the house up the night before. At midnight, they waking up like
exactly
running to the TV. So
exactly.
Yeah.
I'll be
no
here.
Christmas.
Right. Y'all be safe out there. Still mask up. Enjoy your family. If you can possibly follow the guidelines and don't break your bubble, please do so, ladies and gentlemen. I'm tired of seeing 3,000 people dying a day in this country. And a lot of this spiking is now coming from Thanksgiving. I don't want to see a spike from Christmas. And I damn sure don't want to lose none of you people in my audience because you guys are bright, beautiful, and intelligent people. I love having you as subscribers. So mask up, be safe, Merry Christmas, and until that next Sex is Hell video, we'll see you guys on Friday.
Peace.